Yo, what's up guys? It's probably easily been a year since my last post, but I thought let me do this on my 26th birthday. So my name's Timmy Dada, I box. I like to say that I still box. A boxing gym hasn't seen me in about 6 months, but we've actually got sparring happening next week in the new gym in Dubai. So I'll make a video about that and show you guys how that gets done. But yeah, so in terms of introduction, my name's Timmy. We build brands. Our latest brand we launched 6 months ago. We've just hit six. Nah, we've just hit. We launched 5-6 months ago. We've just hit 6 figures. We're launching a new brand next month. We're looking to hit 6 figures within the next 3 months and get both brands to 6 figures per month to hit that 7 figure for the brand annually, realistically. So yeah, I've probably been in business since I was about 14. Made my first £1,000 or so when I was 14, selling sweets. And since then, I've done everything from reselling, hosting events. That was actually when I made my first like 5k, 10k. Hosted event, nearly 1,000 people came. Shout out to you if you remember coming. But yeah, so enough yapping and let me get straight into what this video is actually about. So there were a few things that I wish I knew when I first started. Not started, because business is like a lifelong thing, right? You never really stop as a business person. Like, you're always looking at new ideas. A lot of great business people, I'd probably say, struggle with ADHD, right? Do you know what I mean? So there's a shiny object syndrome. There's always an opportunity somewhere. Do you know what I mean? But if there's a few things that I wish I knew when I was 20 that I know for 100% would have got me to where I needed to be way quicker. Like, I think it's taken me longer than it should have done, but there's no such thing as should have. But I think it's taken me a lot longer than it needed to, just because I was figuring a lot of things out for myself. Do you know what I mean? So I wanted to make this video for a younger version of myself, for people younger than me, to be able to at least have some sort of guiding principles, take some notes in terms of what to do, what not to do, and it would just be 5 things, right? 5 things that I wish I knew when I was 20, now that I'm 26. So number one, and this is for the business person that sees business opportunities and everything. Number one, I'd probably say for me, is business is all about solving problems. It's not about having a new idea. It's not about doing things that no one's ever done before. It's not about it being a cool idea. It's not about any other thing other than the fact that you are solving a problem. Do you know what I mean? And that could be as simple as, people have dirty cars, so I will wash the car. Now, there are problems that are larger that you can charge more for, 100%. But the baseline of it is, you don't need a new idea. You don't need it to be crazy and never done before. Like, people tend to think that the best businesses come from like those shower thoughts, right? Where it's like no, no. When you spot a problem that people are having, if you have a solution, or you can find the solution and you can provide the solution, you can then exchange that for money, because the solution is valuable and value equals money. Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense. You know what I mean? So that's probably the first thing in regards to, when it comes to looking at ideas, you want to find solutions for people to exchange for money. Do you know what I mean? You don't need to create, and the reason why I say that is because it can be as simple as a service, bro. It can be a service. If you learn how to do something that solves a problem for someone, you could charge them money. And again, it sounds extremely simple. That's because it is. Like, it doesn't need to be any crazier or any different than that. And again, the larger the problem, the larger the TAM, the total addressable market, because the larger the amount of people that have that problem. So let me actually break it down. You could either do one of two things. You could either solve a very, very large problem for a few people and charge a high price point for it, or you could a problem that a lot of people have that you could charge an affordable price for. I prefer the prior, right? Where you learn an extremely valuable skill and you charge 5, 10K for it. Then a skill like washing cars, where you can charge maximum 20, 50, maybe 100 if it's luxury cars. And then you then have to wash a lot of cars to do so, to make a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? Whereas, let's say with a skill like running paid media, doing email marketing, HVAC, like they're big problems. Do you know what I mean? For businesses and for brands. Simply learn those skills and solve the problem for the business or for the individual, the wealthy individuals, and charge a higher ticket, bro. That's all it is. One person, you can charge 3K. Duh. Do you know what I mean? So again, this is like beginner stuff where I'm like, if someone had told me it was that simple, you want to make money, solve a problem for someone, or learn a skill that solves a problem for someone and then charge them for it. That's simple, bro. So that's number one I'd probably say is business is all about solving problems. Focus on solving problems, not finding a good idea. Do you know what I mean? A good idea is one that solves an expensive problem or it solves a lot of people's problems. For me, that's number one. Number two kind of follows on from number one, where it's you're always kind of told to think long term, which I 100% agree with. But cash flow, it comes first. Like, there's this idea that to be a great businessman, you gotta think 10 years down the line, and that's great. But you also gotta put food on your plate today. And now when we're talking about the business, now when we link it and attach it to problem number one, where it is we need to solve a problem for people to make money, let's say. We need to solve a problem for people to make money. We then think, what's the quickest way for us to generate cash flow? If you've got a problem that's gonna cost 200K to start, it's gonna take some crazy experts to fix, to get on board. You're gonna need a large team. It probably isn't the thing that you should be starting with. What you need is you need a skill set and you need something that generates cash first. One thing to also consider is business and life has stages, right? The things that you do now aren't going to be the things that you may be doing 10 years from now. And the things that you do 10 years from now ain't going to be the things that you're doing later down the line. The thing that you're obsessed with at 18, 20 may not be the thing that you're obsessed with when you're 25. And it may not be the thing that you're going to be obsessed with when you're 35. So as much as we're chasing our lifelong passion, I think specifically when young, it's more important to build skills that generate cash first, right? So when we're going back to number one, it's solve problems. Solve a problem if you're trying to get into business, if you're trying to make money. Solve a problem. Number two, generate cash first. So now you're looking for a low-hanging fruit problem or low-hanging fruit-ish skill that you can learn that in turn is going to generate the cash for you to eat today. And again, there's some people that they're happily willing to be in business for 10, 15 years before they get a big payout. And I think that's a separate game to play. Do you know what I mean? It's the same way how in running there's sprinting and there's long distance. They're two very different games, two very different routes of playing. I think the second route, where you're playing for bigger pay, for a much larger check 10 years down the line, you could do that once you've got all your immediate needs already handled. You know what I'm saying? But when you're in a position of survival, trying to get a startup off the ground that you know is going to take 10 years and you've got nothing that's going to put food on the plate for today, write off that idea, bro. We need something that's going to generate cash now. So I think that's always the play. It's always then figuring out, okay, when do you change the mind from short term to long term? But I think there's the blanket statement that's put to always think long term. And I think I recently got advised that with any of our brands, if we get approached for someone to buy the brand and the sum is a life-changing amount of money, change your life first. Do you know what I mean? Don't think of, oh, but I could grow this brand and do. You could, but you could also do that with the brand. You've done it once, you could probably do it again. And with the second brand, you're no longer in a space where, or let's say the idea of what life-changing money is for you is now higher. You know what I mean? But if you get the opportunity to change your life, change it. So I think that's the idea where it's like, and that was kind of something that was given to me where it's like, okay, do we sell this brand? Do we scale it even further? And it's like, if someone comes to you with money you've never seen before in your life, and you're in a position where you need food to be put on the plate, change your life first. So, and I think you take that all the way down to the very, very starting position where it's like, why not work on the ideas that are going to pay you now, build the skills, to then eventually, gradually move over into a long-term play. If you're doing something that you know may not materialize for another 10 years, but you're also starving today, it might be best to put that on the back burner. So that's number 2. Cash flow comes first, and then you can transition into a long-term play. Number three, this is more mental, and this is something that I wish I felt and knew way earlier, where it's care less, bro. Care less about looking obsessed and looking crazy amidst obsession and looking crazy trying to change your life. Or on the flip side, care less about trying to look polished, because there's both. Do you know what I mean? Where sometimes you can care too much about wanting to look like you're already successful and wanting to look like you've already made it. It's like, bro, there'll be a time when you are successful and you have made it, and you take a random picture of your wall, but the lighting's different, the area's different, the environment's different, and that looks amazing. People will sniff it from you, bro. You don't need to place things in certain place. You won't need to do none of that. Do you know what I mean? You won't need to be strategic with it, because you will be successful. There's no need to try and perform success in the early days, especially. You don't even want to look like potential. Do you know what I mean? Focus on the work. Focus on number 1 and 2. Focus on finding a problem. Focus on generate cash flow. That's it. And then give zero fucks about anything else. Do you know what I mean? If you need to make content to get your skill set and your business out there, make that content, generate the cash flow. Give less fucks about what other people are gonna think. Do you know what I mean? If you can just get those 3 locked in, find a problem that generates cash flow today, and then give zero fucks about what other people are gonna say and think, I promise you, if I knew this at 19, bro, it would have been raps. Because you spend so much energy and time trying to appear like your potential and like you're gonna make it, and you spend so much time trying to do those things, and I promise you there's real hitters, and I care about being the best, right? And there's real people that all their attention and time is put towards their craft, not looking like they're good at a craft, not looking like anything. Do you know what I mean? Whether it looks great, whether it doesn't look great, care about that later. Care about the presentation after you've made it. Do you know what I mean? And that's hard to hear a little bit, because you may not want people to judge you, but again, that's another part of it, where it's, don't even care about what they think when they judge you. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you know your pockets. You know where you're at. You know where your family's at. Work, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Work, bro. Work. You know what I mean? Focus on the work alone. You can then build and stack everything else after. So yeah, don't really care about what other people say about you or think. Number 4. So say you've got the first 3 in line. You're finding the problem that generates cash flow now. You don't care about what anyone else thinks. Number 4 is have a deep action bias. You may fall into a trap of trying to get things perfect before you start, right? You may start to question, are you moving too quickly? You're not moving fast enough. Do you know what I mean? It's always a case of go hard, It's always a case of experience is the best way that you're ever going to be able to learn. Not through watching the YouTube videos, not through like you can't fake the work, bro. Like dead ass. And it's the same in boxing, bro. Like that's the thing. Because with experience being the best teacher, it's a case that you need to also learn to trust the fact that you're gonna figure things out. You need to become the type of person that, because that's all entrepreneurship is, right? You step into a dark room and you're just feeling your way through things. You need to be able to trust the fact that in whatever that you're going to do, you will always figure it out. So that becomes a muscle. So that's why having a deep action bias is so important, because it trains you to trust the experience. It trains you to be super attentive to what's right in front of you rather than all the theory. Because I'll be honest, with the theory and with all the YouTube videos, all the courses, all the people that's going to be in your ear, there's nothing better than what's right in front of you and you making those notes of, this is what I learned today. It didn't really work. I'm going to change my strategy and go again tomorrow. There's nothing better than that, bro. And like I was saying, if I had two options to pick between two people, one person who's watched a ton of YouTube videos, read all the books, read all the gurus, watched all the greats, but they've never actually stepped into the arena. And the second person who's not read nothing, who doesn't know the first thing about sales. They've just done 100 sales calls a day. Who doesn't know the first thing about boxing, but they've done 1,000 spars, or they sparred every day for the last 6 months. I promise you, the second person wins every single time without a doubt. So experience is 10 times more important than the theory. Don't get me wrong, the theory is just as good. I'm very theoretical. I'm a nerd, bro. Do you know what I mean? I love reading. I love really diving deep into subjects and into things. And that's across the board, from sport to everything that I do. But having that deep action bias, iteration is where you win, bro. Iteration, tweaking, trying again, tweaking, trying again, tweaking, trying again. And pairing that with great theory, you've got a winner, bro. So like I said, so that's 4 so far. That's find a problem, solve problems, that generates cash flow, care less about what people think, and move quickly. Action bias. Start working. And then number five, I'd probably say now, if you want to win as fast as possible. So once you start doing all those things, if you want a shortcut, like realistically there is no shortcuts, but the only shortcut that you can get is if you surround yourself with people who are doing better than you, or who are further ahead in where you'd like to be, and that could be buying a course, bro. I know a lot of people don't like to buy courses because courses but if buying a course gets you closer to that person, and you're then able to ask them questions one by one because you've supported what they're doing, I promise you, once they've seen that you act quickly and you're actually trying and you're actually in the arena and you're able to ask them those questions one-to-one, that is the only shortcut you're gonna get. Because the more you invest in your learning, that's still an investment. Buying these courses, being around these people, the more and more you do that, the quicker and quicker it's gonna be for you. Because now you're not just using your mistakes, you're using someone else's mistakes. You feel me? And because another thing is, they don't even have to know that they're your mentor. Sometimes, like, some of my mentors don't even know I exist, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, Sam Ovens has no clue that I exist. Zero clue. You know what I mean? One day, hopefully, we meet. Really loved a lot of his content out there. Alex Mosey has no clue I exist. So your mentors don't have to be people that you even speak to. It just find these people and really learn, fall deeply in love with learning and taking information from them. I've joined live streams and just asked questions. And again, they won't know it's me. Do you know what I mean? There's a ton of people that I really look up to that whenever they're doing something, I'll tap in. I'll tap in with them and I'll be able to ask them 2 questions that have saved me 6 months of trial and error. Yeah, a lot of the times your favorite mentors will also have a teacher that they look up to. Do you know what I mean? So the learning never stops, and I promise you, the moment you think you know it all, you're kind of cooked, and it's going to take you 10 times longer. Do you know what I mean? So if we put it all together and if we round it all up, solve problems, generate cash, care less, act quickly and get in the arena as soon as you can, and find people who are ahead of you and find people who are on the same journey as you, and make sure you continuously learn. And those things alone would have cut, like I said, I've been in business and doing what I've been doing for it's coming close to about 10 years now. Everything that I would have done in those 10 years, I would have done in 2. I promise you, word to God, I would have done it in 2. Do you know what I mean? So I hope this has been useful for you. I hope this really kind of helps, because these are all things that I wish I had an older brother to kind of tell me, or guide, or mentor, or may not even see me, just someone on YouTube that I just stumbled across. Maybe I saw the thumbnail and it looked great. But yeah, this is what would have helped me if I knew this when I was 20, 26 now. I'm gonna go enjoy our birthday. We're out in the middle of, I don't know, we're gonna have a time. Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, share to someone that you think this will also be valuable for. Don't forget to take notes. You may need to revisit this video maybe every couple of months or so. But I appreciate you guys for watching to the end, and I'll catch you in the next video. Love.